guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to do a comparison slash which foundation I prefer video slash review on these foundations, and it's the L'Oreal True Match Lumi and the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1 foundation. And I wanted to just do a comparison video, my thoughts, my review on what I thought about these foundations since I've been using them for about a week or two now. So if you are interested in seeing what my thoughts are for this foundation, for these foundations, then just keep watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off with the Revlon Colorstay 2-in-1. I have to say that I was really excited when I first got it, but after using it for a while, it's just not a foundation that I would repurchase. It's supposed to be an all-day wear, it's supposed to have a flawless finish, and it's supposed to be sweat resistant. I have a few complaints about this foundation, I'm not gonna lie. I am in the color 150 Buff, which the color matched perfect to my skin. Now the foundation is, first of all, I don't like this packaging. I don't like that it doesn't fold, you know, all the way back or somewhat even a little bit more further back than this, just because it's uncomfortable to, you know, really use it. But as far as the foundation goes, this is a foundation that's like, it's more of a powdered foundation, and it's not a full coverage foundation, which it doesn't claim to be full coverage, but I didn't notice that it wasn't full coverage on my skin because I haven't had a lot of stuff to cover up on my skin, so I didn't really notice that it wasn't full coverage until my sister purchased it, and I went to Target with her. We picked out a color for her, and it ended up being way too light, even though it looked like her skin color in the packaging. It ended up being way too light for her, but she has acne and stuff like that going on her skin, and it definitely didn't cover anything, and it wasn't buildable at all. We tried to apply it over and over again. It wasn't buildable. It didn't do anything for her. So I told her straight up, like, go return it, go get your monies back, because it's definitely not a foundation that's going to work for you. But it's definitely a foundation that's more of a powder foundation. It doesn't last long at all. It honestly lasts for at most 5 hours a day, because I think it's because it has that powdery, like once it dries, it has that powdery finish, so it ends up like wiping off by the end of the day. Like by the time the end of the day would come around, when I would grab my makeup removing wipe to see like what is left, my wipe was literally, all it had was mascara, eyeshadow, and like lipstick. Like that's really it. Like I could barely see any foundation on my makeup removing wipe. So that was a negative to this one. It definitely was not an all-day wear. As far as it being sweat resistant, I did wear it to the gym, and same thing. By the time I got to the gym, there was barely any foundation on my skin anyways. The only thing that that the foundation was literally sticking to was the concealer that I had underneath my eyes. That was the only place that I had foundation, and that's because my concealer was on top of it. But other than, yeah, that I enjoyed it at the beginning, but as I wore it more and more and I started realizing that it wasn't lasting, I wasn't having it. I didn't like it. I wasn't a fan of it. So yeah, and as far as it being a flawless finish, it is for the first hour, and that's about it. It doesn't, after the first hour it starts to disappear, and by the time the 5th hour comes around, you barely have anything on your face. So yeah, the foundation not so great. But the concealer, same thing. I wasn't a big fan of the concealer either. I used it twice and it wasn't doing anything for me. It wasn't brightening, it wasn't concealing anything. So I stopped using it after 2 times of using it, and I went to using my concealer that I love, but definitely didn't like it. So overall, this foundation, I don't feel like it's something that I would repurchase. I feel like if I'm in a, let's say I'm in a, I don't know, I can't even say if I was in a difficult position that I would go purchase this, because I wouldn't. But yeah, I didn't like it, and I was a little disappointed because I've had high hopes for this, but it didn't work for me. So let me know if it does work out for you though. I'd be really curious to see if it's because of the way my skin is, or if it works the same way for you guys. But I wouldn't recommend spending your money on this, because it's not worth it in my opinion. But on the other hand, the L'Oreal True Match Lumi foundation, this is the cushion foundation that everybody's raving about on YouTube, which I have to talk about also. It's the buildable luminous foundation, and this foundation is so amazing. I love this so much. I have been using this non-stop. I've stopped using this one and I immediately started using this one, and I cannot get enough of it. It's actually the foundation that I'm wearing on my skin today. and I just have so many good things to say about this one, which I was so happy because I ended up not liking this one, so I was hoping that, you know, at least this one would work for me. But this is a buildable luminous foundation. It's definitely buildable. I had like a dark spot on the side of my cheek, which I've always had, and I used that as a example, basically, like to try it out, like to see if it would cover that completely, and it did. The more foundation I applied to it, the more it disappeared. So it's definitely a buildable foundation. I apply like about 2 layers of this, and I love the way it looks. And as far as it being a Lumi effect, now, I don't know if this is what the Lumi effect is supposed to be, but once I'm done applying the foundation, my face looks really dewy. Like, it almost looks like my face is wet. My face looks so glossy and so wet. Like, it looks wet. Like, literally wet. Wet. But I don't know if that's supposed to be the Lumi effect, and if it is, then yes, it is there. Like, I can see it once I'm done applying my foundation, how, you know, dewy my face looks. Which I prefer to have the glow from like highlighting or something like that, but I ended up setting it with my setting powder and it disappeared right away, so that was a good thing in my opinion. I'm in the color N3.5 on this one. This one's in Classic Buff, which matches perfectly with my skin. I also have to say I've applied it with this little cushion thing, and it's just not the most comfortable or convenient. I actually prefer to apply it with my flat top kabuki brush from Makeup Geek, and I like that it comes with this lid on top of the foundation because it really gives it a nice cover and makes sure that it doesn't dry out or anything like that. But I love this foundation. My brush fits perfectly in here to dip it and just to blend it all over my skin. I really, really like it. I'm obsessed with this foundation. I have been using it every single day this week, and I don't always wear makeup every single day, but this week, because of this foundation, I have been wearing makeup every single day. I love the way it looks. My skin looks so flawless. I'm a big fan. Big fan of the L'Oreal True Match Lumi. Again, super blendable. It's blendable, it's buildable, and it does have that Lumi effect if that dewy look is supposed to be the Lumi effect on this. But I just definitely would be repurchasing this. I actually am really excited that I like this because I have a few trips planned this year, so I'm definitely going to be taking this as my foundation, and I will be purchasing a backup just to have it, because just in case I run out of this one or it dries out or anything like that. But also I wanted to say that I've been using it every single day and I haven't noticed it drying up yet. So I guess that's a good sign, just because you would expect these to dry out a little bit quicker than a regular foundation that's in a glass bottle. But I haven't noticed it drying up yet, and I've used it for about 4 to 5 days now, and it still gives me that same coverage. It feels very wet. So yeah, I have no complaints on this foundation whatsoever. It just looks great, and I really love pairing this up with the L'Oreal super blendable concealer, which you guys know that I love, and it's extremely blendable. I actually did a first impression video, which I'll leave the link to that video down below, but that concealer from L'Oreal and this foundation is the perfect match. Absolutely love it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that it was somewhat helpful for you guys. I hope that, you know, it kind of makes it easier if you are interested in purchasing. You know, if you saw these two come out at the drugstore and you didn't know which one to get, I would definitely highly recommend checking out the L'Oreal Lumi. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.